It's quite tiring to keep talking about the BBC, not just in terms of BBC bias, but also its funding model. The fact that it's state controlled and state funded. The idiots have now spent over £5 million apparently on a new set, a new studio, just to report the news. And you know where they get that money from? People's pockets, the taxpayers, the ones who pay for the license fee. And of course, they're linked to the government, so even if everybody starts paying, the government will give them grants and subsidies, which means even if you don't really have the license, then you will still be technically paying for the BBC's lifestyle. Now, it's a weird thing, but I'm going to talk about another problem that not many people are talking about in terms of people are paying for the BBC to have access to BBC in this country, yet we are giving free access to foreigners. But first, let's have a look at this weird studio.
Welcome everyone, this is Studio B at New Broadcasting House in London. This is the brand new home of BBC News at 10, explain things, to show things in much more detail, because there are railway tracks to cross for the cameras, which are detail. I'm going to go over to this screen here, which I suppose you could call a kind of explainer screen.
What explainer screen? Just sit down behind the desk and report the news. How hard is it? Put a camera right there, like here, talk to it, and put the graphics right next to you. You don't have to spend £5 million. Yet people have stopped watching the BBC. They're losing credibility and viewers, and they think the best way to do it is just waste more money and burn more money because Rishi Sunak has found the magic money tree anyway, and he can print money. So the BBC are being influenced by bad behavior. Now, the biggest issue I have is not the stupid studio. It's the fact that countries like Spain and many other countries, they get free access to BBC. Why is no one talking about this, by the way? If you go abroad, and not just BBC World News Service, actual BBC One, BBC Two, those channels, and I don't understand how. Of course, the hotels, for example, they have to sign a deal and all that, but everybody else, the guests and the Spanish people who are there, or whoever else is going to be using the privilege and honor of watching the BBC, they don't pay anything. It's British taxpayers who have to fund other people and other countries and foreigners watching the BBC for free. It's an absolutely weird situation that we've created for ourselves just to have this so-called soft power, which is the most nonsensical thing I've heard in a long time. Times have changed. We no longer live in the 60s or 70s. Soft power could now be used in different ways. BBC needs to go. Its funding model. If it's going to be in high demand, people will pay for it, or you're going to have advertisers. I don't really care what you're going to do. Just get away from our lives and fund your own budget.